Hi guys, it's me again. I'm really exhausted for this video and I was not going to do it, but fact is I wanted to make it 2 days ago, and if I don't do it now, I probably will not be doing it till at least Monday. But there's, something that's been weighing really heavy on me, and that I think right now is the single life, or encouraging you guys to stay single rather. I think that relationships and love are a beautiful thing, and as we come to the wonderful cuff season, we're going to be seeing a lot more. And it is something that I do encourage also. I do think that being in a relationship is a beautiful thing, and falling in love and having children and spending an entire life together is such an amazing blessing if you can find the right person to do that with. I'm gonna try to not say so many times. I'm catching myself already, and in some of my other videos I do it a lot, so bear with me. I'm gonna try to be aware. So what I want to do is encourage those of you who are single, some of you that are single, to remain single. And the reason why is because being single, I feel in our society, has become this thing that people dread. It's like if you're single, you're assumed to be lonely, or it's like you really crave this companionship and this relationship, which, like I said, it's something that's very admirable if that is something that you desire, but it's not something that you should need. And I think that when you begin to need a relationship is when you're going to get hurt, and is when you're setting yourself up for failure, because it is like Steve Ferris says, and when he says it, he's talking about marriage. But to me, if you're in a relationship, ultimately that should be what you're aiming towards. And if not marriage, because I know a lot of my friends out there don't believe in marriage, perhaps a life together and a mutual respect that you are in a committed relationship. But what he says is that marriage is not 50-50, it's 100-100, meaning this person is not supposed to completely complete you. They're supposed to be an addition to your life. So some of the things I have a little list here or some of the reasons I should say, that I would encourage you guys out there who are single and are dreading the single life to remain single are as following. So the biggest reason I think people should stay single who are single, the biggest reason I think you should remain single is if you're not happy being single. If you are not taking this time to appreciate you as an individual and to better yourself and to love yourself, if you're not in a position where you define who you are and you love yourself, then that means that when you get into a relationship or when you find your companion, that's what you're going to be looking for in them. You're going to be looking for them to complete you, to define you, and that can be, in some cases, a beautiful thing. You know, when you find love with the right person, they will uplift you. But what if you find love with the wrong person? What if you get involved with the wrong person who, every relationship starts off amazing, but when push comes to shove and all of a sudden they're telling you that you're worthless, you're going to believe them. You've kind of put all your trust in them and you don't know who you are. So until you're happy being single and you feel like you're comfortable with yourself and you love yourself, you're in no position to love others. And it's very cliche, but it's also very true. Another reason I feel like people who are single should remain single is if you love somebody else. Okay, I said it once and I'll say it again. If you are just looking for someone to hook up with or someone to have a good time with, there's no reason to be in a relationship. Being in a relationship is about being selfless and giving love. And if you're not ready to put someone else before you and to put yourself in somebody else's shoes and to consider every way that they may feel and what's best for them, then you're in no position to be in a relationship. You're doing it not out of love, but because you're being selfish, because you're gaining something out of this relationship, out of this arrangement. And that's not fair to do to anyone else. It's not fair to put anyone on the rebound. It's not fair to get involved with someone that you have no intention of loving and that you have no intention of a forever life with. And if you decide that you are going to remain single, and when you come to the conclusion that being single is a wonderful blessing because it is a time for you, and we all need that time to kind of get our own selves together so that we can be where we need to be in our relationships. Take that time to improve yourself. Take that time to do things that you've always wanted to do that you're not going to be able to do if you were in a relationship. Go places that you want to go. Get things done that you want to get done. As we all know, we only are on a limited time in this world, and when you think about what you do with your time, what are you doing? Most of us are working, caring for children perhaps, going to school, sleeping, eating. And when you know, only 24 hours a day, when you put work in, that's 8 hours. When you put sleep in, for a lot of us, that's around 8 hours. You're left with 8 hours. What are you doing with that time? What are you doing with your free time? I think that's when a lot of us start to kind of feel that lonely feeling, and it's like, what could you be doing with that time for yourself? If you have no one else to share that with, anyone who is you're romantically involved with, what can you do to better yourself? And the other thing that I want to encourage people to do during their time of being single is, if you're not in a romantic relationship, think about the other relationships in your life. Think about your relationship with your friends. Think about your relationship with your family. Think about your relationship with people of your past, maybe exes. How can you improve those relationships? A lot of us kind of get so consumed in our romantic relationships that we're just putting off so many other things. And for those of us who are in relationships, and for those of us who are unhappy in our relationships, maybe it's not the best relationship for you, I want to encourage you to be single as well. And the reason why is because, like I said, what it really comes down to is this one life that we live, that urge to be happy that we should all have, that urge of self-respect that we should all have for ourselves. And I think those are all the points that I wanted to make. So in summary, I just want to encourage you guys to, you know, maybe think about not so much what you feel like you need or what you feel like you really, really want. Think more about, what are you ready for? Really sit down and come to, you know, a conclusion of, what are you really ready for? What are you ready to give? Because that's really what you need to think about, is what you are ready to give and what you have to give, not what somebody can give you. So let me know what you guys think, and stay happy, guys. I wish you the best. Thanks.